right now I'm actually at Home Depot. That's kind of what inspired me to go into the industry, because I work customer service. That's not a forever job, as many of you know. And I don't know, it's quite the grind, and I'm really not a people person. And I was either thinking about going back to college, but really college didn't feel like the right fit for me. So I saw all the tradeswomen come in and out every day, and there's tons of job opportunities. There's always work to be done. And really, I have so many friends that, have these elaborate, funky degrees, but have no job opportunities, and they're like in umpteen dollars of debt. And I'm like, what can get me the best job, a stable job for, retirement, hopefully. And that's really, it was kind of just the aha moment of it was right in front of me all along. I'm really artistic, so welding just made the most sense to me because it's very practical, but the artistic, there's so many artistic outlets in it. I could do sculpture, I could, get my own fab shop down the line. That's really what I want to do. So that's really why I did it.
Was there a specific moment, like one day you're at work and you were talked to a specific tradeswoman, or you just saw a certain thing that made you say, I want to do that?
I was actually, it's kind of funny because I was thinking of actually doing like electrical stuff, because there's a lot of, that's like probably what I want to learn next. Like I'm just someone that's very hands-on, but like I talked to mostly electricians. I didn't really talk to welders, but I just knew that like I needed something that fed my artistic side. And electrical work is just very A and B. So I just wanted something that filled everything.
Once you decided you were interested in this, wanted to pursue it, what was that process like? Or what was it like, finding a trade school for it or finding training?
That part was pretty easy, because actually Modern Welding School that's in Schenectady is the best known, or the most highly sought after welding trade school in the US. So we're pretty lucky that it's really right in the back of our backyard, and it's the best because they go over every single process of welding. Usually, sometimes they only do stick welding or MIG welding or TIG welding. This one does everything. It does cutting, it does oxyacetylene, which is more like little craft sort of projects, more like soldering on a high temp level. But they did everything I wanted, and gave me all the opportunities to get all the certs I needed. So I would 10 out of 10 recommend it to anyone. That's another reason why I chose it, because tradespeople, the beauty of a tradesperson is I think everyone thinks of a contractor, this or that. It really isn't that. It's more everyone is there to get a job. It's not collegial and you have to rub elbows with the right person, or it's all about politics sometimes in college. Or did your parents go there, or did your parents do this? It isn't like that in trade school. You work hard, you get a job because you work hard, and that's really what I'm about. You start out in oxyacetylene, and then you do a few weeks of that. Then we had a really long thing in stick, which is electrode welding, because you can apply that process to any sort of other process of welding. And you can apply the principles of that to any sort of other, and that's the easiest comparative to all the other ones you learn. And then we did MIG, which is very straightforward. It's kind of like a hot glue gun with metal. And then we did TIG, and amongst those we did stick pipe, and we did TIG pipe as well. So, and then we had 2 weeks of fab, which was fun. So everyone just picked the project that they wanted to do and made something. Made a few tables. I like stick welding because I thought it was the most challenging, and that's really what I want to do out in the field. I want to be an iron worker. I want to go up on bridges and do that sort of thing and make things happen out there.
So what was your class like? Were there other women in classes with you, or was it small?
Yeah, so the maximum of the class capacity is a 12-person class. I had one other female in my class, but then because it's a block schedule, so you have this class and this, doing this class doing this, And for a while, we were the only 2 girls in the day class. And I think there were like probably, I don't even know, maybe like 8 classes altogether. So, I mean, it could be 4 people in a class or it could be 12 people. But like that's, you know, we were minorities for sure. And then like as we progressed, then there were 2 other girls, Stephanie and Stephanie.
What or who inspires you?
I know this is cliche as hell, but like my mom, absolutely, 1000%. She was a seamstress when I was little, and honestly, a lot of the principles that you can apply to a sewing machine is the same as a welder. And I would always say that at school, and they're like, you're not wrong. 90% of welding is knowing your equipment. If you know your equipment and know the right settings, you're gonna have a great weld. And if you don't, it's just gonna be like awful. And same with like a sewing machine. If you don't have the right tension, the thread's gonna keep breaking. You know, if you don't have your foot set on the right height, you know, the stuff's gonna get all jammed in it. Like it's really knowing your equipment. If you know your equipment, you're pretty golden. Well, I just applied for the Ironworkers Union yesterday, and I'm pretty positive that that's like where I'm going to get my call from, and you know that's why I wanted to do it originally. And being a minority really helps in any sort of union job because they have a quota they need to fill. So they even kind of said that without saying that in the interviewing process, and it's done on a point system, and I had a lot of points just because my certs and my qualifications. So I'm pretty stoked. That's exactly where I want to be. I'm up for the challenge, and that's why I do what I do. So hopefully, you know, it's going to be easier for someone, you know, in the next generation. That's so important to me, and that's why I really feel so empowered doing what I do every day. And that goes for men in female-dominated trades as well. Like, they're just as badass as me.